Hi, my name's Francois. I'm one of the co-owners from Thundersport. A couple of years ago we noticed, people want to lean away from the old school stuff, the old Chevys and Fords, carburetor stuff, and go more towards the more modern fuel injection, OEM harnesses type stuff, and ECUs. They don't want the old school stuff anymore. New school stuff like the Chevys have got LM7s, LQ9s, LS1s, LS2s, LS3s, LS6s. So there's a big variety. They're all out of the same family group. Some parts are interchangeable from one to the other. And yeah, as I said, we noticed that people were leaning towards it. They need a light nudge, I would say, to go into that direction. It's actually not as frightening as what people think it is to start off with. So we sell these motors pre-wired. We have 3 test bench setups where we put the motors on, sort out the harnesses, and obviously start the motors, make sure everything runs properly there. And then before we close up the harnesses, most of the local customers prefer to come and have a look so they can see the harness for themselves, see the motor run, make sure it's got oil pressure. I'd say most of the men prefer shopping with the sound of the motor as opposed to just having a photo and saying, well, yes, I want one of those. Stock-wise, we currently have at least 40 LM7s still. We are waiting for the next shipment to arrive, but we do have 14 units at the moment. LS1s, we have about 5 of those left. We're obviously waiting for stock there as well. For LQ9s, LS2s and LS3s, we do those on special import. Find the market is more towards the LS1s and the LM7s. They are the, shall we say, the cheaper versions of the whole new range LS/LM family. They're nice motors. You can do a lot to them. If you don't want to keep them fuel injection, yes, you can change them to carb application. Lots of YouTube channel, videos out there that shows you easy junkyard rebuilds, what sort of horsepower you can get out of them. Guys are getting 500 horsepower without NOS, with NOS up to just over 700 horsepower. The LM7s, I'd say the reason they're more desirable, cast iron block, as opposed to your LSs, which have got the aluminium block. LE blocks are a lot softer, not as forgiving. You can't put as much horsepower through an aluminium block as what you can do on these cast iron blocks. They can take a real hammering. As long as it's got oil and water and fuel, I think they'll just keep going forever. LM7s, their applications, from down to the bottom of the guy that just wants to put it into his little street rod, right through up to the guys that want to go and race with them. You can put it in your drag car, you can supercharge them, you can put turbos on, change the cams, change intakes. The scope is so wide. It's not just you must only put it into a specific vehicle. You can put it into anything you want. You can put it in your boat if you wanted to. It will go. This replaces the old school 350 Chevys, 327 Chevys, 400 Chevys. Those are no longer available. The market has died out. The rest of the world has moved on, and fortunately or unfortunately, we also have to move in that direction. You can't get old school motors anymore, or they're hard to come by, and if you do get them, they've seen better days. The nice thing about these, they come with LE heads, standard, comes with a roller cam, standard. What more would you need than just that to start off with your build? It's already giving you extra horsepower. Everything's going to work better. Fuel economy will be better. It's fuel injection designed by GM. They've spent millions of dollars. They spend hours going into the development for the stuff to work. I'm currently doing a LS swap into a Nissan 350Z. It will still remain a daily driver. However, I can go and put it on the track. I've spent a little extra time and money on it. Changed cams, we've changed the trunnions, we've changed obviously the sump for this particular application. What else we've done is we've changed the reluctor wheel, so this LS1 will be running on an LS2 ECU for better tuning purposes. That's the only reason why. It's a nice snug fit. We've kept it in such a way I haven't cut any body panels, we haven't knocked any dents in anywhere. So when the bonnet's closed and you have a look at it, you're just going to think it's a normal, standard 350Z, nothing fancy. Obviously when we start it up, different story, and when you put it on the track, if you decide to, it'll also be a different story. So this is to show the younger generation that you don't have to have an old car. You can take a modern car and you can put a V8 in it, as long as it's rear wheel drive. Right, so the other reason for this was so I can prove to myself I can do it. And it's a challenge, you know. I'm trying to convert my daughter so that she becomes a petrol head and not just be a mom's girl kind of thing. She's got to be a dad's little girl, you know. She's got to enjoy cars. She's actually begged me that when it's finished I have to take her to school and that she needs to show off to everybody. So yeah, I'm doing my bit in contributing towards the fact that the newer generation need to know they have options.